talk, right?
Yep,
Yeah, so I'm excited about this because
me too.
corruption, I hate corruption, and we are just swimming in it in
They're
Ohio.
just so flagrant with it. They're just
Yeah.
so in our faces. They don't even care. When we figure it out, it's like, well, sorry.
Yeah, this is
It's
the rich, right?
yeah,
Like we get to do whatever we want.
step on everyone.
Yeah. Welcome to Leading Her Way, the podcast where we talk to ordinary women who are becoming extraordinary leaders. I'm Andrea Verso, the founder of Women Lead. I want to share the stories of the women you may not have heard about who see problems in their communities and do whatever it takes to solve them. So today I am with Stacy Horning, who is drawing some attention to what's happening in her community, Canton, Ohio. So Stacy, I'm going to let you go ahead and start
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
So I live in Canton, Ohio, the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And 10 years ago, the Pro Football Hall of Fame pitched an expansion of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was going to be called the Hall of Fame Village. They had they said they had gotten all this funding here and there, and at some point it diverged from the Pro Football Hall of Fame and became its own project. In the meantime, they brought on shareholders, public shareholders, and there's also EB5 investors involved. So they've gotten over half $1 billion, and it's nowhere near what they've said it was going to be. And nobody in the city seems to care. I think that at some point, all of those people that continue to approve their tax incentives, somewhere got their hands dirty or something, because no one wants to say anything. No one wants to call anybody higher. No one wants to get a forensic audit. I mean, the mayor of the city literally told me no, he was not going to request a forensic audit. So
Wow.
yeah, and I know the inner workings because I worked there for a time. I worked there for 3 years, so I saw firsthand just the blatant mismanagement and financial just waste. And so when the last CEO stepped down, and at the same time, the owner, who he's always the developer, said he was going to take it private, that's when I knew that something was fishy, and then I had to dig in. And what I found is probably more more intricate than what I ever imagined.
Oh my goodness. So you don't work there anymore?
No.
So I'm thinking this is kind of a whistleblower, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're describing? You worked
Yeah.
there, you saw something.
Well, I think if I hadn't worked there, I wouldn't have known just how ridiculous how ridiculous they were treating the project. Like, it was just a lot of elitist behavior. Like, the CEO made $5 million a year, and we had never turned a profit. So it didn't make any sense. Like, there's no one that cared enough to do the right things for it. And yeah, at some point the Pro Football Hall of Fame veered past with them, and now they just act like they're an innocent bystander. So I mean, no one else was doing it, so I felt like it was, kind of my responsibility, I guess.
Yeah, it's your community and you want it to be a nice place.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. I'm familiar with the area. My daughter went to Mount Union, so
Okay.
we drive by there continuously for a while. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, and we both remembered, I told her that I was going to interview you today, and we both remembered that that hotel has been under construction for years.
Yeah.
I think it's a hotel. I'm not sure what it is. So,
It's supposed to be a water park, and I guess there's supposed to be a hotel adjacent. But the hotel, I guess, I mean, it's so hard to keep up with their plans because nothing is what they said it was going to be. But that's supposed to be a water park, and it's been sitting like that for 2 years with plastic over it. And all of the water slides and all of the things have been sitting in a locked lot just like for 2 years, getting sun damaged. And now they say that they're going to start construction again, but I mean, I can't even imagine the cost it's going to take to even find out if that building is viable,
wow.
So I guess we'll just have to see on that. But even still, that doesn't that doesn't erase what's gone on the last 10 years. And I'm still committed to finding accountability for all the people that had lost money. Someone messaged me the other day that lost $360,000 in the stock.
Wow. They were an
Yeah,
investor.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So you said that you've talked to the mayor and the mayor is not interested at all in
No, he was not
getting
interested at all. He
getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, well, I went to city council and I basically pleaded with them and I said, I've been working on this over a year. I'm exhausted and I could really use some help. And they basically just said, we support the Hall of Fame Village and we want it to be successful. And I'm like, and then the next day the mayor called me and I said, if you would let me come show you the evidence I have that this is not what you think it is, then I think maybe you'll see things differently. And he said, I'm not interested in seeing that. I said, will you at least ask the law department to request a forensic audit? I mean, there's public money involved in this. And he said, that's not what the law department's for. I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So have you found you've been to the city council, you've been to the mayor.
hmm
I think you've talked to the school district.
hmm
They're not interested in helping.
No, they're all on the same page. They're all kind of just trying to keep it under the radar, basically. I
Okay.
mean, sometimes they don't even answer me. And I have like a couple of other people that don't mind sending emails. So I'll have like one of them see if they can get an answer. They're really funny about even answering any questions, which is wild because the stadium and the youth fields are public assets. Those belong to the Kansas City School District. They are leased to the Hall of Fame Village. So, I mean, we could have terminated their lease years ago, but they just recently waived their defaults and signed a new lease with them, even though the city is up in arms about it. I mean, they're all just very much on the same. And I think from their mindset is they're thinking, where would we find the money to the upkeep to maintain these spaces? But that's the thing. Like you're gonna have to just jump. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
have to just jump and figure it out. Then you have events. Then you know what I mean? You figure it out, but you don't keep, pacifying these people that have clearly taken advantage and manipulated our community.
So the people that are doing this, they're not Canton people.
No.
They came in from outside of Canton. They
Yes.
made big promises because the Hall of Fame is a big deal.
Yeah.
And they made big promises to the city of Canton and to the school district. And then they haven't fulfilled those promises.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
you have the receipts to show that it's corrupt.
Yeah. And I have the receipts to show that for this developer, it's a pattern of his. You know what I mean? This isn't just a one-off. He didn't just come here and do a bad job. This is exactly what he does from city to city to city. And I can't figure out why, but there's something that makes Ohio very attractive for these type of scams. And the only thing I can think is that we're just so desperate for a comeback story. You know, the Rust Belt got hit hard when all the industrial plants went down, So I think that everybody in Ohio is just really desperate for that comeback story, and he takes advantage of that. He's done it in North Canton with the Hoover Building. He's had that over 20 years, and still nothing. I mean, there's a couple, just like he did here, there's a couple things there, but the main part of it, the bulk of what he was selling in his renderings, it will never materialize. It's been sitting an empty husk for years, and that's a historical building. Oh, and
So
I've proven that too, and nobody seems to care.
I think that it's from my perspective, because I'm starting to see since I've been watching you, and I don't even know how long it's been that you caught my name, you caught my attention because of the Hall of Fame
hmm
in your handle. So I started listening to you and I started recognizing the pattern of what you're talking about, where the big developer comes in and makes these promises and
hmm
then actually doesn't deliver, but the people have accepted it as somebody swooping in to save us.
Yep.
And I've seen it happen in Chillicothe with the paper plant. And I've just recently started hearing in Millersburg, which is not too far. It's kind of between you and I,
Yeah.
um, geographically, but something happened similarly with a trailer park, I believe, where some big investor came in and was going to make it beautiful, and it's awful. Like they didn't pay the trash. I don't want to speak too much about it because I don't know the details, but there does seem to be a lot of big investors who come in with big promises and make um, small cities and small villages
Yeah.
even worse off and then
Well, because
go
the
away.
thing that I don't think people realize is you get paid at the announcement of the project. You get financing at the announcement of your big idea. It doesn't have to be finished. So you announce a big idea, you get all these big loans that are paid over 20 or 30 years. You don't have to do anything else. You already have the money. Like finishing the project is the hard part because then you have to maintain it. But just announcing it, getting the loan money, and you can pay that loan off or, restructure it later on. It's all about getting those the financing. And that's Hall of Fame Village is financing on top of financing on top of financing. Their last name is financing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're walking away with all the money. And I'm assuming you can answer this. Are they paying any of the contractors? Because there is some of the work that's done there, correct?
Yeah. Well, they've had a long history of like not paying and then at the final hour paying everybody up. But like the last I checked, they had $12 million in mechanics liens. So those are people that did the work. Small businesses from around here, just regular businesses that had to pay their employees and just never got paid. And those were sitting there for, over a year. And so
Mm.
I don't know if they paid all of them off, but I can't imagine those contractors would go back to work for them.
Right.
So, I mean,
Have
and this
you
has been like the second round of mechanics liens.
have you talked to any of the contractors who got stuck?
I mean, none of the like bosses, but I've talked to a lot of the like trade workers that are like, well, someone messaged me and said that he worked for a company that made their windows and all the windows for the water park, and they had all these windows made, and then they just never got them. Like they never retreat like the windows were sitting there. I don't remember what he said they did with them, but I mean, those are like custom windows, hundreds of thousands of dollars of them, and all the time and effort that went into that just to leave them sit.
Wow.
Just people that have money just don't care about any of that.
Mm. So what is your goal with this? Like you saw the corruption, and I'm kind of putting words in your mouth here, so you help me, you change that if this isn't the case. But what I see is you worked for a company, you saw there was a problem, you started to investigate it on your own and realized this is a big deal that people in my community need to know about, and so you
Yeah.
took it to social media.
Mhm.
What is the end goal in your mind? What are you hoping will happen with you bringing awareness to this?
Well, there's a few things I'd like to happen. First of all, I would like for the NFL to buy the Pro Football Hall of Fame because right now it is a nonprofit museum and it certainly isn't run like a nonprofit, but yet the community continues to subsidize its local services. And that's not fair. So I've tried to reach out to them and I'll continue to try. In my last email to the NFL, I said, "You're not going to get rid of me, so you might as well at least answer what I'm saying here." So that's the first thing. And I can't do anything about the water park and the retail. That's private, but I want to get our stadium and our youth fields back because that belongs to us. And I want to somehow put in place some safeguards so that we cannot be taken advantage of like this again.
Do the Canton, does the Canton, I believe it's McKinley, right?
Mhm.
Do they use the field for
Yeah.
their football games?
Yeah, for football.
Okay. Um, and I get what you're saying. They probably, I mean, that's an amazing stadium. I've been there.
Yeah,
And as high school kids, they could never provide a stadium like that
right.
without this
It's
So
the most expensive high school stadium in the country, and we don't use it. It's never been used to its potential. And that's another thing with the McKinley kids. Like when I worked there, I tried to say, why aren't we having like work study programs for these kids so then they feel some ownership of it? You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and then moving forward, like these are people that are probably going to stay in Canton. None of us ever really go very far. And, like, why aren't we doing things like that? And nobody ever wanted anybody in Canton involved. And I think it was because then there would be somebody that cared.
yeah. Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
you've uncovered something really big.
yeah,
I believe I'm in Ohio. I've grown up in Ohio, and I always believed that the NFL owned the Hall of Fame in in some sort of partnership with the city of Canton.
nope,
And I don't know that that was ever told to me or that that's just the assumption because I knew that the high school played there and I thought it was incredible that they were doing all of these renovations and the stadium is beautiful. The village surrounding it has really become an eyesore because of the construction that's not finished.
yeah,
And I don't think people recognize how many years it's been
right.
since it started.
Over 10 now.
Wow. So what do you want people to do? How can people help you? You said in the beginning, look, I've been doing this a year. I'm exhausted. I know that you're gaining a following on TikTok. I've seen that. I know how hard you're working. As you know, there's these kind of issues all over the United States and people are
Right.
exhausted.
Yeah,
But what I do is I encourage women and other people to get involved in something that they're passionate about and stay focused on that because
yeah,
we can't do anything, but we can all
yeah,
do something.
yeah,
So if somebody is passionate about the city of Canton, about making it the beautiful place that it has the potential to be and making Hall of Fame Village what it has the potential to be,
Mhm.
how can they get involved and how can they help you?
Well, I mean, mainly right now is just like in sharing my content because I don't think anybody knows the underlying things that are going on. I think everybody just thinks it's like a private thing, like it's none of our business, but it's so much more than that. And the more people that know, the stronger we are here. I mean, our city council doesn't let anybody talk anymore. Like you can't, there's no public comment at our city council meetings. So you can't do that. I mean, um, other than that, yeah, I just need attention on it. The more
Okay.
attention we get, the stronger my mission is going to be.
Nice. Well, I will tell you that I mentioned to a friend that I was having this interview and I said what it was about. And she said, oh, I've heard a little bit about that. So I know that there are rumblings. She's from that area. And I know that there are rumblings about it. And the more you talk, the more it's going to start to make a connection
Yeah,
that, ooh, this is also, and I think what's going to happen as it's bigger, people in other cities are going to say, wait a minute, this kind of thing is happening in my city too.
yeah. And that's what I hope. Like, I was really afraid to do face-to-face TikToks. Like, I had my other page for like 4 years. I probably did like one or two. And then I just had to like get out of my comfort zone and do it because
Yeah.
it's the only way. It's the only way for people to see how serious I am about this. And that's what I say all the time. Like, we just have to pick our thing and then don't let it go until it's fixed.
Right.
The right thing is always going to win if you
Yes.
don't stop.
Yes. And the fear does hold us back.
Yeah,
And we think, oh, what if nobody cares or what if nobody listens?
right.
And we have to, the more we talk, the more people listen, no
Yeah,
matter
for
what your
sure.
issue is.
And I was pleasantly surprised. I've only had my page for 7 months. So, and I have 16,000 followers now. I don't
Wow.
even have that many on my main page. And so people have really just shown up for me. And I mean, anytime I want a meeting or want to do something, like people just show up for me in ways that I didn't really expect. So it's going well. It seems slow, but I feel like it's going well.
Yeah. I love that you're doing it. Whenever I come across your TikToks, I always want to like them and comment so that
Yeah.
I can make sure that it keeps getting pushed out.
Yes, I
Um,
appreciate that.
so what is your handle? How can we find you on TikTok, or are
It's
you on any
at
other platforms?
Well, I have Twitter and it's both the same handle, but I wasn't getting much action on Twitter, so
Yeah.
I don't do much. Um, it's at HOF V as in Victor and then the word truth. Hoff V truth.
Okay, great. Well, I will put that in the comments under this. This will show up on my Women Lead YouTube channel.
Okay.
And best of luck to you. I admire what you're doing. I know that
Thank
it's
you.
difficult, but you're making a difference.
Thank
And
you so
that's
much.
that's what this is all about, is more women coming forward to lead in their own way about the things that they're passionate about. So thank you for doing that. And I'll keep sharing as much as I can
Thank you
from
so
my
much.
platform.
I